This week on the show, we're checking out Excalibur. Woo! Welcome to the Grizzled Geek. I'm Mike.
I'm Kirsten.
I'm Doug.
And we're here with another episode of Does It Hold Up? This week we are checking out one of mine and Doug's favorite fantasy epics from the 80s, Excalibur.
Excalibur. Best King Arthur movie ever made.
Yeah, I mean, this is, Morte Arthur. This is the story. Everything that I think of when I think of King Arthur, the story of King Arthur, is from this movie, pretty much.
And it's got Patrick Stewart.
And it's got Patrick Stewart. It's got Gabriel Byrne in it. It's got Liam Neeson. It's got a ton, and these are all early roles for these guys. But all right, Kirsten, what do you think of? I know you're like fantasy movies.
Yeah.
What are you expecting from this?
I think it's gonna be your traditional King Arthur movie. Lots of fights and camaraderie and like the whole workings of a political knight system and adventure.
What's your favorite King Arthur movie right now that you've seen?
Are there any good ones?
I was gonna say everybody.
I can't remember one that I've seen. Like, I can't remember a name of one that I've seen. I know I've seen one with a cartoon. And I
Sword
know
of Stone?
Nope.
The Disney one?
No, not that one. I've not
There was
seen that one.
Was it like what the First Night? Was that the Sean Connery one?
Sean Connery was King Arthur, and Richard Gere
was
Lancelot.
Yeah. It was an awful King Arthur movie, not a bad movie.
Not a bad movie, but
an
awful
King Arthur movie. Okay, are you familiar with the story of King Arthur?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ish. I know he exists.
That's right. We will know a lot more after this. All right, Doug, what do you remember about this movie?
Oh, so much goodness. They're really good, like, not super fancy fight scenes, but like if people in heavy armor were actually swinging heavy swords, this is what it would look like kind of scenes. So really nice. I love the guy who plays Merlin. I don't remember his name, but
Nicole Williamson.
He's awesome as Merlin. Probably the best Merlin on screen we've probably ever seen.
He's also was in the Spawn movie from the 90s.
Was he?
Yeah, he was the wizard or the guy who trained Spawn.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that's what I remember.
I did not make that connection.
I remember watching Spawn going, "It's Merlin!" That immediately elevated Spawn up for me.
Right.
But Merlin is the best in this. Despite all these cool guys, the guy even got Helen Mirren as Morgan Le Fay.
Yep.
All these great actors.
And it is a fantasy. Because there are fantastic elements to it. It's not just like a historic piece or anything like that.
Yeah, this is the first time I actually saw like knights in full plate armor fighting. Like you're talking about it, like or actually that looked real. Like looks like they're in heavy armor. Right. It takes a minute to swing a sword or get down off of a horse. Or, Every other time I saw them, they're just like walking like they're wearing tinfoil or whatever, just like running and jumping and stuff. But I'm trying to remember all that. I remember.
I don't want to give too much away because.
Yeah. I remember it gets a little creepy in some parts in the movie. I remember that. When I was young, right?
All right.
It's a little bloody in parts. If I don't remember, it's been a while. I have not seen this in a while. So, but I'm super excited to see it again. What do you hope? What are your hopes, Kirsten?
I hope there's fighting.
Pretty sure.
I hope there's fighting on horses. I hope that Merlin is magical and wonderful. I don't know. I don't have a lot of expectations or things that I hope for because I'm not very familiar with the story to be able to say, oh, this is what I hope to see or expect to see. But the era is interesting to me, and I'm interested to see what happens in the story. So
this is fantasy, not like Lord of the Rings fantasy. That's high fantasy, right? This is more, I would say realistic fantasy. Was it? What do you call that? Lower,
like low fantasy.
Low fantasy.
Well,
there's magic in it. There's stuff, but not.
Merlin is just about as magical as Gandalf. because Gandalf doesn't do a lot
Right, yeah.
of
yeah,
overt magical stuff.
Right.
But, he's about that.
What he does is important, It's
Yeah.
kind of,
Okay.
yeah. So he's more like the wise. He's a lot like Gandalf,
Yeah.
He's an advisor.
Most wizards in movies like that, they're not uber powerful, and
Right.
I mean they are, and everybody's afraid of them. Everybody figures they can do something, but they
Right.
never really show it off. It's all talk.
Yeah.
Right.
So
All right, well, I'm excited. We're going to dive into this. We're going to go watch Excalibur, all like 2.5 hours of it.
yeah, it's a long one.
And get back after, if we're still awake, we'll come back and let you know whether it's as good as we remember it, whether it crushes, Kirsten's fantasy dreams, or whether, it holds up. So we'll be back. Bye.
Out of this lost centuries rose a legend of the sorcerer Merlin, of the coming of a king, of the sword of power, Excalibur!
Is that what He-Man has, the sword of power?
Yeah.
Power bracelet.
Power!
It's a cheap knockoff of Excalibur.
I don't know.
Excalibur doesn't shoot lasers.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Excalibur doesn't have the power of Grayskull.
Because power can't.
He hasn't turned King Arthur to Adonis.
Or Gynecologists.
Lost to get gay Adonis.
Oh my god.
All right, we're back after 2.5 hours of watching.
Oh my god.
All 2.5 hours of Excalibur. All right, as usual, Kirsten, you're up. What'd you think?
It was really good. I liked it. It was everything I expected it to be. But well done. Not like I was thinking it was going to be a little corny just because that's pretty typical for the 80s,
Yeah.
But it was actually really well done. I liked it.
Cool.
Nice. Doug, did it measure up to everything you
Oh,
remember?
yeah. I always, and I've watched it relatively recently, probably 2.5, maybe 3 years ago, max.
Okay.
And I'm always surprised about how metaphysical it is.
Yeah.
And just, oh yeah, I forgot about this. All these dreams and visions and
Right.
stuff. I forgot all about that.
I'm here for the fighting.
I pretty much blank out about halfway through the movie every time. Like I remember that first half, oh the fights are cool and blah blah blah, and then this whole second half of the movie, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this. But it's good, yeah. I like it a lot.
Yes, it's good. I haven't seen it recently, so it's a little more dated than I remember. Not it's not in a really bad way. I mean, but some of the effects, like the crow picking the eyeball out of the skull, the little
Right.
the little gummy looking eyeball that you
Right.
you're picking out. But I mean, overall, it was I mean, it's a classic. There's a reason why it's a classic, right?
Yeah.
And it tells like the whole story. Although it does, me and Doug, who read Le Morte Arthur, like we get the book in our mind.
Yeah,
We're like,
like,
all
hey,
right,
wait, wasn't
that
it
was
this
different.
version?
Wasn't that Gawain? That wasn't.
Notice the total absence of Galahad. Total absence of Galahad.
Yeah, no Galahad in the movie at all. So I mean, just going through that way, going like, oh, didn't this happen differently in the book?
Yeah.
But as it happened.
But nonetheless, I mean, they got a lot in
They
there.
did.
Yeah.
This is the most true to Le Morte Arthur than any other movie about Arthur has come out.
Yeah.
I don't know. What did any of you guys see the most recent
No.
King Arthur one that
Which one was that?
came out last year?
I don't
That
think
was like
so. No.
No, yeah.
tanked.
The rock and roll King Arthur.
yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So many King Arthur movies out there. None of them are really that great.
That was a. It was not a sequel, another remake that nobody asked for after the bomb 3 or 4 years ago with the warrior Guinevere King Arthur movie.
Oh, isn't that the one? Yeah, I remember that.
That's
Yeah, I remember that. Wow. Yeah, man, they keep trying to redo this, and they keep trying to. I think what this movie got right when all these other remakes, they keep trying to remake the story. They're gonna
rewrite the story.
modernize it, or change it. It's got to be different somehow. This one followed very closely to the book,
Yep.
and very closely to the legend, and it's the best. It's the reason why it holds up, 30 years later,
Right.
in this movie. So, all right, Kirsten, what'd you like about it? Who's your favorite?
I don't know. Even though it's fantasy, it was believable. So
Yeah.
I liked that we got to see like actual fights and like the politics of everything. It was also really funny and face palmy to be like, yep, there's going to be a problem between those two.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
in love. They're going to cause issues.
Yeah.
I also loved Merlin's quippy remarks to everything.
Oh, yes.
Like, oh, you and your love. What do you need that for?
Yeah.
He's playful and quippy, and I liked that a lot.
Yeah.
Merlin is the best in this movie. I mean, it's just a fact. You said
Yeah.
it before that Merlin is the best. Every scene he's in, he steals. So,
Yeah.
I don't know, Doug. What about you? What do you?
Yeah, I mean, Merlin's my favorite character. In Arthurian legend in general, Lancelot's always my favorite. I'm a big Lancelot fan, so I thought he was portrayed well here. I
Yeah,
like the guy who played him. He played it pretty true to character.
Would you prefer him to have a French accent?
No,
No.
he's fine the way he is.
Really? I don't know. In my mind, he's like he's from across the street. He's French. Lancelot du Lake.
Yeah.
He's
Well, technically speaking, when the books were being written, everybody in court would have spoken French, even in
Yeah.
England. That's that's the that was the official diplomatic language,
Sure.
the
Yeah.
upper class language.
So
English
pretty.
English is kind of like, oh, that's for the slums, that's for the peasants.
So in this movie, Lancelot was portrayed as like a very what's the word, trustworthy and honest person up till the end. I mean,
He is the epitome of knighthood. He
Right.
is everything that's. He's the epitome of a human knight in that he's everything that's perfect about a knight, but he's
Okay.
human, so he's going to. Something's
I
going to
see.
happen. He's going
gotta
to
fall,
stumble and sin.
because popular, at least more modern images of him, usually he's like the pretty boy, the dumb and just pretty face, and that's all that's good about him.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's how he was supposed to be, or if this just made him out to be a more.
No,
No,
what
he's-
Gawain says about him is accurate. Is everybody at the round table looks up to him, and
Yeah.
he's the greatest
best
of
of
us.
Gotcha.
He's chivalry exemplified,
I see.
and chivalry not just in how he treats women or whatever, but I mean in the art of combat, in
Sure.
honor of battle, everything,
Okay.
everything about chivalry.
That's why he was so upset in that fight scene where he's like, "You try and fight to the death against a knight who's not your enemy, who is just jousting with you. What are you
Right.
doing?"
yeah,
He was kind of offended by that because that's
Right.
not how you're supposed to behave as a knight.
Right.
yeah. So and all the modern takes. Like I said, the worst one I remember is the Richard Gere one.
Right.
Like, Lancelot never dreamed of being a knight. That was the opening line of the movie. You're like, what? He's like a scoundrel in that one, know?
Yeah.
Right.
And you're like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
I mean, which I kind of like that movie, but I don't. But as it's not in a King Arthur movie.
Yeah,
Sure.
just pretend they're not Arthur
Yeah.
and Lancelot. But they're some other dudes.
But yeah, I mean, I'm hard pressed. There's so many, but I'm hard pressed to think of any version of the Arthur story that I like.
The Sword in the Stone.
Sword of Stone, yeah, it was
The
kids.
Disney
Yeah,
version.
the Disney
pretty
version.
fun.
But
Have you seen that one?
I don't
The
think I
Disney
have.
version?
I think I've
okay.
tried a couple of times, but I fall asleep when it happens.
yeah, that one, the Sword of Stone is a little dated for a Disney movie. It's like,
And it's based on The Once and Future King,
Yeah.
which is a more kind of a silly, tongue-in-cheek
Okay.
kid story.
yeah. More of the fantasy aspects of it come from the Once and
Yeah.
Future King story.
Okay.
There's several different versions, right? La Morte Arthur is the romantic, I don't know, the traditional.
Yeah.
Like
Really?
gathered all of the old stories into
Yeah.
one cohesive unit.
Okay.
Right. So, but yeah, I mean, this is everything. Like I said, Mordred creeped me out when I was a kid. He still kind of creeps me out.
Yeah.
In this, him and his dark fallen knights. I mean, they made it creepy, and it was. I don't know. I think they did a really good job. Although, I don't know. I think I could have. Yeah, it's like the end scene where Arthur dies. You're like, well, he just threw himself on that spear. Like,
Yeah.
He's got
Yeah.
Excalibur. You can't just you couldn't beat him
Chop
with
it in half and then
chop it in half and then go up and stab the kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, he's old. He's
use
ready
it like you did on Lancelot. Come on.
yeah, it's true. Summon that power. It won't break on him. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's good. I think this holds up. All right, Doug, what are we gonna rate this?
9.5.
9.5. Doug loves this movie.
I do.
Wow.
This is a really good movie.
Kirsten, what do you think?
I'm gonna go with 9 Excaliburs.
9 Excaliburs. There you have it.
Cool.
I am going to give it an 8.5. And not because,
Boo.
yeah, because I don't. I mean, it's
Everybody
8.5.
comment down below. Tell him why he's wrong.
It's a great movie. 8.5 is a great score. I mean, it's no Big Trouble in Little China, but it is. It's up there.
Yeah.
That was just for Doug.
Yeah. Big Trouble in Little China is wonderful cheese.
That's right.
This is
Yes.
slightly more wonderful cheese.
Yes.
This is a really good movie, and it was fun seeing all these all these big stars in early roles like Liam Neeson,
Definitely.
and, Patrick Stewart,
Right, yeah.
Gabriel Byrne. There's all these like I recognize that actor. Helen Mirren was always great. I mean it's a really fun movie, and so it's something. If you have a fantasy fan, would you recommend this?
Yes.
All right,
Absolutely. Yeah.
there you have it.
I don't know if I'll rewatch it though. That's a really.
It's a long.
movie.
It's a marathon.
It'll be like
It's
10
a
years.
it's
from
a
now. I'll
wait
be
5
like,
or
"What
10
was that
years.
movie?"
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great movie. You're not ready to jump into it again. Like your friend hasn't seen it, you're like, oh yeah, here's the video,
Yeah.
VHS. Go
Yeah,
watch
go
it.
watch it in your room.
Or
Tell me
call,
how awesome it is.
Call me in when the action scenes happen.
Right.
I'm ready to do that.
Oh
This-
yeah, I remember that.
Oh, this does make me want to redouble my efforts to find Lady Hawk, because that'll stay in the genre. So
Yes.
that may be what we do next if I can find it. 'Cause
Okay.
it's
Doug's on a quest.
It's a really good movie.
From what I remember, it's a really
Yeah.
good movie. We'll find out. That's why we do this. All right, folks. There you have it. Another winner. Excalibur. It holds up. It's not just, nostalgia.
Yeah.
It is actually a good movie, verified by the geeks, right here. So go watch it, and then put it on the shelf for another 10 years and bring it back out.
Yeah.
Show your
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Really appreciate you watching. Does it hold up with us? We're gonna try and find Lady Hawk for next time.
Yeah.
See if we can do that. I believe up next we have Grizzled Weeb. What are we watching on that?
We're watching Overlord.
Overlord. All right. So we're excited about that. Please like, subscribe, help us get to that goal. What is it, Doug?
5,000 subscribers.
5,000 subscribers. So by the end of the year, you can do that by sharing this with your friends. YouTube's been messing up, so hit that bell if you want to get notifications, because for some reason it's kind of
They don't always.
they're lost in the ether sometimes.
Yeah.
Also, if you wanted to support the channel, you can do so through any of our links down below. And what are they, Doug? What have we got down there?
We've got a Amazon affiliate link where you can shop for just do your normal shopping on Amazon. If you do it through that link, we get a kickback. It doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah.
We've got a Teespring store where you can get some cool merchandise, shirts and hoodies and some mugs
Yeah.
right now. And then you can become a patron on our Patreon page. You can get early access to some of our shows and just join our community there.
Working on
Help
some
support
unique
the channel.
content for that too as well.
Yeah, we're gonna do some new stuff soon.
So, all right, guys, there you have it. We'll be back next time with hopefully Lady Hawk, and we'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye.
Right?